Right, okay, back for part 3 with the main man, Greg Hanson. Right then, Greg, here we go. Are there any names of some young riders up and coming? Some riders, the names of some riders that we can look out for that you know of, bright prospects and all
that. I think it's all changed from years ago. There are plenty of good riders out there with lots of talent. The one that stands out at the moment is Joel Rizzi, who's
seen him. I've seen him
at the moment.
Yeah,
but I believe it's due to people, or riders that once they know they have the talent, have got to put the work in, and if they put the work in, they'll get the results. And it's the same with anything. But I don't know if it's this country or what, but there seems to be a lot of distractions for the young riders. I just think we have a lot of talent in this country, and you'll see the ones come through that actually dedicate their life to racing motorbikes. That's the ones you'll see come through.
So you think there is a few? But you think that obviously, if he can put the hard work in, he's got a great chance of making a good career then.
I think if anyone can put the hard work in, that has a talent, I think that they can actually crack it. And because I am someone was hovering around that level, and knowing what's there, you can very easily see it of what we've got here. So it is just dedicating your life to racing motorbikes and nothing else.
Yeah.
I remember, actually, funny enough, when I first met my first wife, and she said, what's the score and all that, and I said, well, I race motorbikes, so that's my life. And I said, and I have a little dog. I said, but if you're happy to come third, then no problem. And this is the way it goes. So it was racing, it was Tog, my little dog, and then it was my wife. There you go. And it was done as a joke, but I think she had actually realised it was the way it was. So you have to dedicate. You have to dedicate your life to what you're doing, and that's what I've done. So that's just something out there for the youngsters of today. If you want it, you've got to get it, really.
It's funny you brought up that Joel, because last year I went to the Foxhill British Championship and took photos, and I took quite a few of him, and I was quite impressed with him. I think he was riding in like the youth group that they have at the British Championship, and obviously he was winning. And there was another lad that was close with him, but he does look a talent for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I was impressed with him. Yeah, cool.
He's obviously working very hard. So just dedicate your life to it. That's what if that's what you want, do it.
Fair enough. Cool. Right. What pro riders from this day and age do you enjoy watching ride now, and why?
This day and age, I've got Geyser, Febra, Roxon, but my absolute favourite when he's on form, my absolute favourite is Tonus, Arnold Tonus. He's just got talent, but it's Geyser for his talent, also Tonus, Febra for the amount of work he puts in. Roxon, I love Roxon being out there and killing it out there.
And
then you have to say Hurlins, obviously, because he's on just how fast he can go and how he can put it down in the last 10 minutes. It's just absolutely amazing. So they're the riders I sort of watch an awful lot.
I don't know. Did you see that one where when Hurlins went over to America? and he rode. I don't know if it was last season or the season before. He went and did an AMA motocross their last round or something. He went over there and blitzed them all from the back.
Yeah,
it's like, whoa.
Yeah, read about it a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's something else, but I don't know. I was really looking forward to this year because Guys has got a good bike this year, and it would have made it a lot closer, I think. But once it kicks off again, we'll see, won't we? So
yeah, it'd be very interesting.
He's just very, very talented. Like they all are. All them front running Grand Prix riders are the ones that dedicate their life to it, of course.
Yeah, all top guys. Yeah. This is obviously these questions I put together myself, and I've put, will you definitely roll out and ride at the BSMA Motocross Memories reunion?
I spoke to John yesterday, and the bike's there. So if there's a bike there and there's an offer to ride, of course I'll ride. And I will put more laps in than I've ever done in the last 2 years. That's a pure fact. And of course I'll.
Beautiful.
I will be riding around there with exactly the same feelings that I have, in years past. So, it's something that I would just love to do, 100%.
That would be brilliant. That's a massive thing for me. That would be unreal to see you do that. I've got on here, right. What interviews have you most enjoyed reading on the Facebook group, BSMA Motocross Memories, and why? I know that you've told me that you've obviously seen quite a few of them. So
I'm like most, I'm sure that we listen and read all of them, but the ones that stand out for me because they come across so different to what I expect is Max and Mervyn Anstey. They were both really, really good interviews. Max's especially, it's just he put some right thought into it, and I just thought it was a really good question and answer, So
his personality come across, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, really good. I was really impressed with him. So that was
fair enough.
Right, that was that really, really interested me, in reading. So yeah,
I like both of them as well myself. What are your favourite parts of a motocross track and why?
I don't think there's
never asked that before.
There's never been any favourite parts. It's if you enjoy a track and you're confident with the track that you're going to have a good day. But
I
think it's just the fact of getting it down and getting the track sorted and getting the results that you want. So I don't think there was any favourite parts. No, because I was always good at jumping. I was always good at corners. So, if you were up together and you were fit and strong, then you just attacked the track that was there in front of you, really. So, no favourite parts. Was
there anything you specifically done, like, say if you did some practicing, was there anything you worked on specifically, or did you just do motos and...
No, I was old school, and all I'd done was work motos all the time. Just work moto for as long as I could. No, nothing I really... this day and age, I think you've got to work on specific things. But no, I was just... it was so different back then. It wasn't as it was now. So I just worked on motos to get my endurance up as much as I possibly could.
Something like the sand. Did you like the sand?
No, I was never physically strong enough for the sand. I enjoyed riding, but I don't think I was ever physically strong enough to last it for the duration. So I did struggle in that respect.
Hawkstone was a bit of a beast, and if the weather wasn't very good as well, was it?
It was hard work. It's funny though, because as a schoolboy, whereas I'd done very few nationals, I actually had a really, really good ride in the schoolboys in the seniors or experts possibly. And I was second overall in a national, but as an adult, I really struggled with it, and I think it was due to being on the big bikes and being a small frame and that, and just couldn't ride it how I wanted to for 30 minutes. It was always a problem.
Yeah,
So
that's fair enough. I've got about 2 or 3 questions in there. Right, what have I got here? What's the art of making a good start? Is it down to just reaction times alone, or what other things do you think is essential? Because I remember you pulling loads of hole shots in all groups.
I was always good at starts.
Yeah.
I think it's clutch control. I always was the one that liked 2 feet on the floor.
Oh,
So
did you?
I was,
That's interesting.
and I believe it was just looking at the first turn and saying that it was yours, and a lot of the times it was. So it's clutch control off the line, and that was it really.
Old Merv Anstey was pretty tidy at the old starts as well, wasn't he?
He wasn't too bad, but I was close with him most of the time. So
I've seen a hell of a lot of pictures of you making hole shots and videos.
Yeah. You had to have the right bike as well. The bike setup had to be good. So but it was that's what it is. I think clutch control.
All right, I've got one more question for you, and you might even actually get to have your tea that I know. Are we going to get to see it?
Yeah. For now,
is it still there? Look.
It's here.
There we go. Look.
Help for me, but I thought no, I need.
He's delayed the tea just for us. Right. What do you think of the tracks these days compared to the 80s and 90s of those sort of heydays? What do you think about the tracks now?
The modern tracks and what the Grand Prix riders can do on them is absolutely amazing. Yeah. Personally, for me, what I like to see is all the riders, top riders competing all year long. And modern tracks of today is causing too many injuries, I believe. My thoughts are, put the Grand Prix riders around Farley Castle, you will have one hell of a race. One hell of a race, because it's for example, with Farley, you have to set yourself up 2 corners before to make the pass. And
track craft.
There's so many variations you can do on a track like that. And we know from the last 10 years of what we've seen with good racing there. Yeah. The jumps are amazing what they do, but it's just, I think it's very high risk. All right, the bikes are different these days. Yeah. They can do it, but I'm old school. And I would like to see more tracks, less jumpy, but I want to see good races like you'd get out of Farley Castle. Look at DT, for example, back then, in the back, the front, things like that. You very, very rarely see that now. It's all a little bit repetitive because the top riders can do all that, and also sort of national riding and all that. You got young lads going around doing big jumps, and they have pushed to do big jumps, and I just don't think it's a little bit unnecessary. So it's just me being old school, and I prefer what I used to race, really.
Have you been down to like the Matterley Basin where they have the British GP? Have you been down there and seen that?
I raced that.
Oh, you have raced?
A few years back in the World Vets, and I mean, it's a lovely track, but for me also for a vet, it's a little bit too much when I got tired. But the track is not set out for me. It's set out for Grand Prix riders. But it's a fabulous track. Don't get me wrong. The top riders ride it how it should be. But I just think that you don't need quite so many jumps and so many so technical that you got more of a chance of getting it wrong.
Yeah.
I hate it when you get halfway through a Grand Prix season, you've got 3 or 4 riders out. Yeah, then 3 or 4 are quite important to making the race, So I would prefer less risk on a track.
Do you think where people maybe say slightly fade in a race, and then obviously they've got to make these very precise jumps and stuff like that. Do you think that's where like the mistakes creep in, don't they? And,
I would say so.
yeah.
So. You have to be so precise. And,
Mm.
some of that they made, there's no room for error. This is the problem. So when you do make a mistake, you pay for it. And not my thing. But I'm only speaking as an old person. So
Yeah. Before we go, is there anything you want to mention about any sponsors or anything you want to give a shout out to or anything?
I would just like to thank everybody that's been a part of me throughout my years. And there's been many, many good people around me throughout the years. And thank you all very much. You know who you are. There's been lots. And I've had a fabulous career. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll be in it for a few more years to come. So looking after these young riders and trying to make something of them. That's it really.
Well, this has been an absolute honour for me to be able to speak to you, Greg.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and thank you, Lee, for asking me to do this, because, as you know, I'm a little edgy doing it, but
you've been brilliant. I appreciate it. You've been really good, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I very much enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks very much, mate, and take it easy, all right?
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, mate.